There we go.
Okay, Brett's coming on now. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dave McDonald, Chairman of the Sewer Commission. Today is May 11th, 2021. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting of the Sewer Commission is being conducted remotely and is being recorded, and the recording can be found on Access Channel or YouTube within 48 hours. As a preliminary matter, again, my name is Dave McDonald, Chairman of the Sewer. I'd like to do a roll call of all the members and persons participating on the agenda that are present and can hear me. Mike Devakis, unmute.
Here. Hi, guys.
Hey, hey, Mike. John Reynolds.
Here.
Brett Ransom. Brett, you got to unmute. Rob Oliver.
Here.
Barbara LaVave.
Here.
Am I saying that right, by the way?
No.
Yeah.
LaFave.
LaVave. Sorry.
Here.
You got the little thing over it. And Jane,
Yeah, I have all kinds of phonetic little hints.
yeah, but every week is different. Jane, you there, right? I can see you. Okay, hi, Jane. The town of Lunenburg, in response to the COVID-19 coronavirus, is currently following the guidance for the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Works, and the CDC requirements of the virus and steps communities can take to prevent the spread. All town facilities are now open in normal hours. In accordance with the governor's orders suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, all public meetings are still being conducted remotely. The order, which can be posted on the town website on the COVID-19 Information Center page, accessed through the town manager's webpage, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public, excuse me, to ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Sewer Commission is convened on video conference via the Zoom app that's posted on the town website, identifying how the public may join. So before we start, I'd like to go with the announcements. And Barb, what do you have?
Just a reminder to everyone that the town elections are on Saturday. We have 2 positions on the ballot, one for 1 year, one for 3. Got both Dave and Mike on the ballot. Mike Knoll, sorry.
So if you guys are available on this Saturday, come on down and support your candidates, all of them. We're looking for people to join the commissions, other boards in town. We have a few write-ins as well. So again, come on down and hopefully it's going to be a beautiful day. What else you have, Bob, under announcements? I don't have.
I have just the town meeting. I just to advise that all the sewer articles were approved, including adding the 19-hour per week part-time position. And if anyone's interested in that, see Julie Beliveau in the Human Resources Department.
I think Brett might apply for that job. Brett, you want to apply for that job as far as the assistant? No? Okay, can you hear me, Brett? Can you hear us?
You might have some competition.
Okay, is there any public comment from the public? Seeing none. Any public comment from the board? John?
No.
Brett?
No comment.
Okay. Mike?
Nope.
Okay. Current business. Kyle Luck's resignation.
Yep.
Bob, I'll let you take it over.
All right. This is the first meeting of the commission ever that did not have Carl as part of the crew. He's resigned after 15 years on the commission. He was on the original commission from its inception in 2006, served as a chairman for 5 years, 2012 to 17, and again in 2020. And with Carl's support, the commission had the comprehensive wastewater management plan completed in 2010 and updated in 2016. Through the process, the sewer districting bylaw was created and sewer service area determined based on areas of need. He's always fought to control the expansion of sewer to protect the lakes and groundwater. Instead, he's always pushed to have the property served by alternate means whenever possible. He fought to present a balanced budget at town meetings for many years and held off rate increases for 7 years. He brought many issues and concerns to the commission that otherwise would not have been taken into consideration. He helped negotiate the latest Fitchburg IMA and the Highfield Village Payment Allocation Agreement. brought many other projects to fruition, including the maintenance plan and focus on resolving the I&I issues. So we wanted to just thank Carl for all his service to the commission. The success of the sewer enterprise is due in no small part to his efforts and dedication to the task. And we will have a gift for him, but it'll be delivered to him personally. So I just want to say thank you, Carl, for all you did.
And I'll open this up to other members. Brett, do you have anything to say?
I don't. I, can't thank Carl enough for all his years of service and helping the commission to head in its current direction. And wish him luck in his future.
John?
Yeah, I mean, but what Carl has done a lot over the 15 years. I think all those things that Barbara listed are not small items. 15 years is a pretty long time on any board or commission in a town municipality. I sort of consider Carl to be my walking history book, and I might have to be calling him now and then to find out maybe why and how some things happened in the past. I will personally miss you, Carl, if you're listening, and thank you for all you've done.
Mike?
Not too much. Just I didn't have too much time working with Carl, but we did have some good moments working together on this commission, and I want to wish him well in any of his future endeavors.
And as a chair, I'd just like to say thank you, Carl, for what you did. But also, I'm really looking forward now to working with all you. It's a new generation for the sewer division of this town. I know in your hearts, you all care about the customers. We have a great team coming on board, hopefully starting after the election. I'm looking forward to not only continuing, but even do greater strides on the sewer. I'm looking to expand some of the sewer where we can. I'm looking to let Barbara and Rob do their jobs. I'm looking to work with MP and have them do their jobs. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be an excellent year for us in the Sewer Commission coming up in 2021. So I wish Kyle the best of luck, and I'm glad you're retired and you should enjoy your life with your wife Phyllis and go see your kids. And again, thank you from us from the Sewer Commission. Okay, Barb, the next topic, you got Fitchburg sewer audience. Am I reading this right? Because my print is screwed up.
Is that somewhere else? Because I'm not seeing no one's trying to get in. There's just dings going on. Sorry. Next item on the agenda is the Fitchburg sewer use ordinance changes. I had it on here in the hopes that we would have heard back from council, but being town meeting season, I think council is a bit occupied. Haven't gotten an update. I will be pursuing him for the extension request we had through the end of May. And I think at this point, we already know we're not making that because we have some more work to do. So I will at least get that from council in the next week, I hope, and get it over to Fitchburg. But no updates yet.
There's really not much work left on it. Just we're just waiting for the review from Adam, correct?
Review from council, and then those changes will go to Fitchburg for their review. Then it comes back and has to go through 2 public hearings on our side before we can make it official. So there are still steps for Fitchburg to be satisfied with their requirements.
But when we get the copy back from the attorneys, we can send a copy of that over to Fitchburg for their review. Is that correct?
Depending if there's anything major or whatever that needs to be brought to the sewer commission meeting, I'll have it on another agenda. So if there isn't, it'll just go straight to Fitchburg.
Okay, but we just again may want to let Fitchburg in the loop and let them know that it's coming. And
yeah, no, I've been keeping him updated.
Yeah, he seems pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on our Fitchburg sewer ordinance? Okay. Control panels reworked by Emprey, Electric Ave. Who wants to hit that one? Rob, you want to hit that one?
Yeah, so MP had, as promised, sent over their wiring diagrams for the panels. I know Mike and I briefly spoke. He had taken a look at them, thought everything looked good. So as long as the commission's happy with it, we're going to proceed with replacing the panel in this one station for now, see how that goes, and then we'll consider doing others as we go or as needed.
Mike, you want to mention anything, what you saw?
No, I mean, it looks like it's a really good set of drawings. I think what they're doing is not only kind of simplifying the system for them, but it's also simplifying for us as far as, you know, parts and ease of troubleshooting. I think they did a great job on it.
Yeah, I just got to thank you and Empri and Rob and Barbara for putting this together. This is what teamwork is all about. And for our sub and one of our vendors that come to us and give us an idea to save not only money for our customers, but do it more efficiently. I think that's just wonderful. So thank you guys for your effort on this. Any other questions on the control panels? I see none. CTE, Chad Empri contract. Barb, what do you got?
Yeah, the initial year contract with MP was just for 9 months. It was the end of September through June 30th, so it would complete out the fiscal year. So it's time to get the year 2 one going. We've already got, you know, it's set up. It's a renewable contract for 2 more years. So we just have a couple small edits. One, you know, from I had sent you what I was hoping to incorporate into year 2 after conversations with Al, just one small change to Exhibit A. We just want to add in SSO, which is the sanitary overflow. We didn't have a mention of that in their contract, and they do respond to emergencies, and that's what an SSO is, but we just want it specifically mentioned. And then add in the jetting, that they would be responsible for coordinating the regular set schedule for jetting throughout town. So those 2 changes, as long as they are acceptable to CTE or MP, we'd be good to have it reviewed by council, I guess, one more time. And then
I do have a couple of questions on that. One, you're taking out the simulated power failure off of the Exhibit A?
right.
Okay.
That was just per Al. Rob, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Al really doesn't feel that it's necessary. I mean, he's testing them out there, and I think it has more to do with actually running it. Trying to remember exactly why he didn't think it was necessary. I mean, he's out there, he's testing it. He knows it's alarmed, so he knows when it's running, when it's not. I honestly don't remember the exact detail as to why he felt it wasn't necessary. I don't know if it's a strain on the generator or the switch gear, but he just would prefer not to do it that way. At this point, I got to rely on him. I think I can place faith in him on that, and if that's his suggestion, I would go with it.
Hey, Rob, I got a question about the generators. Are they?
Yeah.
Is it going through like an automatic cycle? Are they exercising the generators every so often to make sure that everything is up to par and everything work in case there is a failure?
I think they run once a week, but they don't run under load, so it's just the motor running.
Right.
And Al's fine with that. He monitors them. He does some of the preventive maintenance on them. So he's real good with the generators. In fact, I think he worked as a generator operator at one point. So he's very knowledgeable, and he does a great job with them.
Okay, good.
And the other question I got is, we put a lot of hours in this last year, if you guys remember, during difficult times with COVID going on. I know we came up with this contract, and Bob, how you feel it went last year before we finalize this? This contract has been very good for us, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Are there any flaws in it that we see, that we run across?
No, none. Just these 3 items are all I've come up with in the 9 months that Al's been taking care of the system. He's done a super job and seems to be where the contract seems to cover anything that we need to.
Okay, so the other question I have is then, why are we gonna adjust this contract? Can't we just add this stuff into the maintenance contract for him? Or should we add it into the other contract?
It's only one contract. The O&M contract is the one that's coming up for renewal.
I'm talking about jetting and stuff. That wasn't part of his original contract, was it?
Correct, and that's why, I mean, we've talked to Al about doing it and being involved. We want to try to get it incorporated. Looking at the maintenance plan and what we've asked our contractor to do per the maintenance plan, we haven't gotten it written in writing with MP yet. So we're trying to get it incorporated.
I guess what I'm saying is that if you and Rob are looking at our maintenance plan that we're going to be going into effect, should be placed into that maintenance plan, or should we put it part of our regular contract because we have to change the contract now, modify it?
Dave, I think it's already considered part of it's in the maintenance plan. Basically what we're just trying to do is, since MP, if I were to get a jetter out there, I'm going to want Al around. So it would be just as easy to have Al coordinate that work and be responsible for getting it done, as it would be me trying to coordinate everything, every year. Al's very knowledgeable with the system. He has already told me where he, thinks there's areas that could use it. So I think it's just making it easier for everybody if we include it in their contract.
Well, I agree. I'm just saying is where do we put it in the contract? And then it has to go back to the attorney for a rewrite before he signs it for the next 2 years. And I don't have a problem with that. The question I got is, do we want to put it in here and rework this contract, or make the separate contract for maintenance and include that as part of maintenance? I have no concern about MP doing it or Al doing it. It's just where's the right place for it to go as far as the paperwork part of it. So it wasn't originally part of the scope, so we're going to add that to his scope of his contract. Is that correct?
Right. And then I guess it depends on what MP comes back with. Does it substantially change their pricing? We'd have to go out again. But we're hoping that it's just a part of the general O&M going forward.
So I have no problem putting it into the original contract. It's just now you got to figure out where it's going to go.
Right.
What category does it fall in? And you have to rewrite that portion of it.
Yep.
Probably initial it because this is a rewrite of the original contract.
Well, this is year one's contract, so there'll be a new contract for year two. So.
Does anyone on the board have any questions about this? No.
Well, is it overseeing, she mentioned, or are they doing the jetting?
It would be them arranging for a jetting contractor and being there for the work, which I would be having happen anyway. The difference is it's just allowing them to control when it's done, work with their schedule, and them being responsible for making sure it's getting done. If it doesn't work out where we can't add it into their contract, or if there's some other technicality about changing the contract, we'll simply just go back to the way I was previously, going to handle it, where I line it all up. We're going to have Al or whoever from MP back here kind of on time and material anyway, because unless we do it during their normal hours. So it's just a coordination thing. So if it doesn't work out, it's still going to get done. Or, if the added cost is, if they want to, get us for a lot of added costs, then obviously we'll rethink that strategy.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm on board with adding them on. It sounds like their control in that area might be helpful, and may even save us money working around their schedule.
I agree with everything you're saying, but all what I like to do is place it in the contract now. And if you look at the contract, Bob, do you have that in front of you?
Yes, I do.
I would put it under the hourly service of the 10 stations, routine repairs, but it's not part of the station though. So hold on. Put it under reports, Rob, that they report they'll report to you about the findings of the
No,
Jenny?
I don't think it would be under reports. I'm not looking at the contract currently. Hang on.
The contract's mainly for the pump stations.
I mean, it could go under routine repairs
Okay,
or miscellaneous.
Mm,
there you go. Okay, why don't we throw it under section E?
I'm sorry, sec E.
We'll put it under section E, which is miscellaneous.
Yep.
Or, yeah, I like E. You
Okay.
could use you could do outside of scope services too, if you wanted to. Rob, do you see that?
Yeah.
All I'm looking for, if we're gonna have them sign a new contract, let's get it into the contract.
Right.
Any other commissioners have any questions on that?
I think it should be in the contract and, probably under miscellaneous.
At least he's covered, we're covered, so I don't want to see Emprey lose any money either, so now it's all under a contract.
Yeah, they have to be agreeable to it, and we'll, between Barb and I, in talking to town hall, we'll figure out the mechanism, how, if they're agreeable to it, how it gets into the contract. Whether it's just a hand revision to the contract that everybody signs and initials, or if we have to redo something, but we'll figure that out.
Because I got a feeling somewhere along the way, we're gonna be going to another contract for maintenance, aren't we? Or how you want to handle that.
I'm not
No,
sure
we're
what you
trying,
mean.
I'm sorry, Rob.
No, go ahead, Barb.
No, I'm hoping that we're going to just integrate the maintenance that we're expecting of the contractor into this contract. The maintenance plan is for use going forward, what we expect, what we need for anyone coming on to the system and doesn't understand how we operate. But this is the O&M operations and maintenance of the system. So I would like it, I'd rather have it all incorporated under this umbrella contract.
All right, so if Rob hires Al to do certain things on the maintenance plan, are you just gonna have him bill us for that? Or is there gonna be some sort of a contract or agreement or PO or?
That would be outside of scope, I think. So that would probably be on a time and materials through MP. I think what you're getting at, Dave, in the future, when this contract runs its course, we'll want to incorporate not necessarily the O&M plan into a contract, but at least referencing it, and it will give contractors who bid on it a good idea on what we're expecting.
I think, Rob, before you got here, we have history with our last vendor to this vendor. So like I said, when we work hard on this, we try to keep accountability, which I think this contract did a great job on doing that. And I just don't want to make sure that in the future, we don't start mumbling everything together and go right back to where we were 3 years ago. You guys know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
So by having it separated the way we are, at least we know now MP is doing the maintenance and whatever that is. But we want to make sure we have a vehicle for you and Barb to make sure those payments get paid too. Personally, I don't care who you hire. I think we have enough confidence in you. You're going to do the right thing. But do we want to do another contract for maintenance, or you just want to do it when needed? I guess is what I'm trying to say. I just don't want to mix up the two between this contract and the maintenance contract.
Yeah, no, that's something to think about. I think because I know just in my own experience, we had a contract with a contractor who did both pump stations and maintenance of the system, and the normal maintenance that the O&M plan would be referring to. So that's definitely something to think about, whether in the future. I'm assuming that the current contract will remain happy with MP until it's run its course and we've gone through the extensions we can give. That's an assumption at this point. But in the future, do we have separate contracts for the same contractor to, do other maintenance in the system, not necessarily just the pump stations? That's something to consider. Or if we do it jointly as one contract or two contractors, which I'd have to give that some thought, but I think I think we have time to think about that.
Well, I know town meeting approved our master plan. So I want to thank all the people at home who came out and voted for our plan for the sewer department. And that's what's the other thing that's exciting is that we get a chance to move ahead. But again, I just don't want to go backwards and make the same mistakes we made with our previous contractor. So I think moving forward, if maybe we should all sit down and just think how we want to handle that, either through POs, your priority. I mean, the money's going to you. All what you're going to be doing is reporting to us on how that's going to be spent and what repairs are going to be done.
Mhm.
And if you want, I can open this up to the commissioners, just get their quick thoughts. We'll start with Mike. Mike, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, the one thing that came to my mind, if EPI hires the contractor to do the jetting, I mean, does it go out for bid? Do we get a couple of bids on it from different companies, or is it at MP's discretion to hire who they want?
I think you rely on MP to hire the most qualified contractor at a reasonable cost. I know, again, from my own experience, when you say subcontract it through your contractor, basically it's on them to hire them. Of course, we can maintain some control on that and ask for, quotes and make sure you get the lowest, experienced bidder. But it's not the type of project, even if we were just hiring it out, I wouldn't be going out to bid. I'd just be getting quotes on it.
Okay. All right. And other than that, I agree with Dave, just kind of try to keep things separated a little bit so we don't muddy the waters between the contract for the contractor and the contract for our maintenance.
Yep.
John, do you have anything?
Mike asked the question that I was thinking, but and it has been answered, so I'm all set.
Brett, do you have anything?
I don't have anything to add or ask. Thank you.
I think we're on the right road, and I know it's going to be a little what if and how to, and that's what I just want to make it clear. The commission's here to assist you on doing that. So we just want to make everyone's job easier. But like I said, I just don't want to go back to where we were before. And Barb, I just want to make sure you can't come back and say, okay, I don't know what the responsibility is. We all have a clear responsibility of what the contracts say. The contracts are cut and dry. So I'm kind of excited about doing it. So there you go with that. You guys have any comments on it or? No? Rob, you all set?
I'm good.
Okay. Elizabeth Street.
So I'm still trying to drag quotes out of contractors. I had a contractor from, I think it was Green Mountain Pipe Cleaning. He was in the area, so he stopped by Monday, was out there. So yesterday. He had questions, but hopefully I'll get a quote out of him. I've asked for 3 different ones. I actually was trying to get a 4th, and another company that Al had recommended is not willing to come out to Lunenburg. I guess they're busy enough where their home territory is. So I can proceed once I've got another quote. The contractor I spoke with yesterday had some good questions that I ran by Pat Cotton, who answered them for me. So gave me a better understanding of why we're doing what we're doing based on what the contractor had asked me. So I'm waiting to get a number from him, and hopefully then I can make a decision on one and get that in the works.
Any questions for Rob on that? I got one stupid question. What was the problem on Elizabeth Street? I forgot.
On the what?
On Elizabeth Street.
It's the I&I. So
Yeah.
there's a almost 700 feet of pipe that Weston and Sampson had noted infiltration. So it's basically cleaning, inspecting, grout sealing all of the joints on the main. And then there's 3 specific services where they want us to grout and seal the service at the main. So these guys have specialized equipment to do that. In fact, I was planning on this being night work because Dana Street pump station can be kept from running if we do it at night. However, the contractor I spoke with yesterday has newer equipment that can actually work with the flow itself. It actually, I guess it's like a hollow barrel that goes down the pipe, and it can pass flow through the center of it and still do the grout and seal on the joint while there's flow in the pipe. So we may be able to do it during the day based on what he told me. So I thought that was good news.
Nice. Okay. Any other questions from the board? Okay, moving on. Minutes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes for 4/13. Anybody out there like to do a motion for approve the minutes on 4/13?
So motion.
For seconds.
I'll second that.
I got a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call vote. Mike,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Brett,
Aye.
and an aye for myself. Jane, very good job on the minutes, by the way. Business managers report.
As you all know, the 5 Chestnut Street was withdrawn. Before I was able to let council know, they had done up their opinion on the question from the prior meeting, when we had Paula and Carl speaking about by the approval of the SSA sewer service area expansion. We were basically giving them tacit approval for any future projects. So council was contacted and asked for a clarification. So I sent that out to everyone. Got some good points. It was just that if a recommendation is done in the future, we should always just caveat it with that this has no impact on future project requests and submittals. So it was interesting, and he put a lot of time into it, so I wanted to share it.
Question, Barb? What I like to, and thank you for doing that. I still may have a question on that in the future, but what I like to do is once the elections are over, we have a new board. I'd like to make an appointment for Adam to join us for a meeting for a half hour. So one, he can meet the board and gives you guys a chance to talk to council personally about anything that's on your mind. But I want to start the year off in the new membership correctly. And that would be to meet town council personally. So I don't know if some of you haven't met him yet. He's a nice guy, but I really want him to get used to the commission. I think the last time he made an appearance was in December or February of 2020, maybe. I think was the last time we saw him. So if you can put that on the agenda and
I
ask.
thought it was early 2021, actually.
We're in 2021 now, so it was last year before COVID because last time.
Yes, because it was. Yeah.
Bob, if you can check with town manager and just get permission to have him come to one of our meetings. Okay.
Yep, and next on the business manager report is that there are council hours coming up on the 20th, which is a week from this Thursday. If anyone's interested in attending the council hours, even just to introduce yourself, it's still by Zoom, and it's free of charge. Whereas if we have them come to a meeting, it'll be a chargeable thing. So if you have questions or want to meet Adam, let me know and I can send you the link if you didn't already get it from Heather. But that's on the 20th of May.
Just keep in mind, we still have our policy. That's not going to change. So that's staying in force, which is you got to let the commission know you're going to want to talk to an attorney.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I have to get permission to talk to him.
Yes.
If it's just to introduce yourself and get to know him, I don't know.
We're going to be doing some nice things next year, and it's good to know what footings we are. In fact, Rob, did you ever get back to those questions that Miss Bertram asked before we lost? She asked some questions about flows and stuff. Do you remember that?
I don't remember in particular what questions she had, other than we did look into if it was the Chestnut Street project that I believe she was on for. We did look at capacity issues. The mains have no real capacity. If there were a large development that came along, we'd have to look at the pump station in terms of flow, cycling and things like that. So there were no real issues. I don't remember specifically what other questions she might have had.
Jane, do you remember? Oh, hold on, Barb, go ahead.
Yeah. At the very end of the last meeting, she did ask about basically our regulations allow 330 gallons per day. That's what we ran on with setting up the program and the master plan, that we had to count basically 330 gallons. Her question was, so do they get 12,000 gallons per day if we expand the sewer service area, or automatically? And the answer is what I had said before. The commission has to review any change of use or increased usage. So the answer is no, it's not automatically just, you can have 12,000 instead of 330. They come back to the commission for increased usage. So that was basically what she was asking.
Do me a favor, if we can, let's professionally respond back to Ms. Bertram on her questions, send her a copy of it, and also send it to Adam Burney and to Heather Lemieux. So that would be our official response, and to Rob, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt your business report. What else you got?
That's fine. I'm just making note. Do you want me to? I did not. That is not council. I did not have council answer that, because you can look at right in the regulations and see that. Do you want me to go to council and get the official opinion?
No, she just asked Rob specifically, if I remember, what are those counts and stuff. So let's just get back to her on it.
Okay.
Not to correct you, Dave, but I was not at that meeting last week. That's why I didn't know what she had asked. But Barb and I did talk about it the next day, and I did read the section that talks about the 330 gallons.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, and Barb, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it says that the commission, unless the commission grants otherwise. So I think you have the freedom to approve more, but it starts with the 330, unless, the commission approves otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's fine. But I mean, that meeting was it the last meeting or the meeting before? It was the last meeting, right? We just approved the minutes from it.
Yes.
The
it
request
was.
We
was
skipped the meeting.
withdrawn on the 14th,
The 14th is when Paula was there.
13th. Yeah.
Okay. What else you got, Barb?
Okay. Bright Farms. There was a peer review done by Graves Engineering. Just wanted you aware in case you had seen it or heard it mentioned in other meetings, such as the planning board. There were no issues. I just wanted to state that Graves found no issues with the current question or peer review that involved the sewer commission or the sewer regs. And that is for the Bright Farms at 361 Mass Ave. So nothing new on sewer side. Planning board had a public meeting on the 8 condo unit project, or 8 condos, sorry, at 711 Mass Ave last night. I'm not sure if anybody attended or if there's anything to update, but I had just let everybody know that there was a public hearing. I have not heard the result of it.
I saw a little bit of it, and they were just talking about. It wasn't real. It didn't come to us about it yet. Let's put it that way.
No.
What I saw, anyways.
Right.
I did make some comments on that project. I had no major concerns, but maybe asking them to consider an alternative layout to the sewer as they had shown it. So I made those comments. Planning board has those. I haven't heard anything back from the applicant or their engineer at this point.
And I don't want to be quoted, but I think they denied it yesterday, and they got to come back. One of the things was about if they do approve it, they want all the sewer equipment to be the same. So different water drainage sewer things, if I'm not mistaken. Might be drainage things, but I think it was canceled and they're redoing it. Do I make a lousy reporter, huh? I think I saw it.
Good expert witness, Dave.
You like that? Yeah, I think I saw it.
Dave, that's as accurate as any reporter today.
Yeah, I know. Barb, what else we got?
A couple invoices that have been received. One we don't have much say over, but just so you are aware, we did get the Mead Tollerman invoice for April, when he mostly dealt with his the review of our bylaws and the opinion on the 5 chestnuts. So, and the total was $551.32 for the month of April.
Okay.
So just so you know, that gets processed through town hall. They're
Okay.
just being us on it for the amount. And I think it was for a total of 1.3 hours. So, and then Fitchburg usage amount is 16,478.38, and that ran for usage through the end of April. So, just letting you know what the cost was in the last month.
How does our budgets look right now?
Budgets are doing well.
Very good.
So I'll put that through. I just wanted to let you know the website had been updated with a number of different items. We put back on there the hours are back to normal for office hours. I did add this is the pool and lawn adjustment time, and to provided links to the waiver forms that they can fill out. We added Carl's resignation, town meeting results, updated drain layers lists, updated forms for like the deduct meter app, and the process for a permit to connect. So website's been updated with most everything we've got. I'll update it again after the election. And lastly, once we get our information back from Fitchburg that we're clear on their chapter 147, we've got a couple other policies that will need to be hopefully reviewed and finalized, and try to incorporate all of it into the public hearings that occur, including final reads. We talked about prorating or not at one time. The wells, we've got Rob has differing opinions on the easement restriction that we would like to have reviewed, and also the reconnection permit that currently we charge $1,000 for a permit to reconnect. I just wanted to bring it up that there's future discussions to be held when we get things going back from Fitchburg that I'd like to incorporate in the next iteration of the regs.
There's going to be a lot of things. I'm sorry, Barbara, what else do you have?
Nope, that was it.
There's going to be a lot of things that we as a committee are going to start doing things out of the norm. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if I could ask you guys to start thinking, what would you like to see us attack? I love the easement idea. I think we got to do that. For us commissioners who've been here for a while, there's a lot of things you want to look at. There's a lot of things that we can go forward with. We have a nice system. I'm pro for enlarging it, getting existing customers online. I like to fix some of these things that Barbara's been having for the last 15 years. The billing cycle, is there an easy way for us to get the information from the water department? We're in 2021 here. There's a lot of things that we can do. And Rob, with you at the helm, I'm telling you, I can't wait to really start looking at this and making all our jobs easier and for the customers. So stop thinking. If you have any ideas, just throw them to Barbara. But we should do a list, and I do believe in goals. I also in business want to look at it as far as what's the need as well, and what is the need. And what I like to do first is ask our guys, Barbara, Rob, Al, what is the need today? What do we need right now to make our business expedited, more profitable? You can use any term, but there's a lot of things that we get frustrated about. And this is a great opportunity for us to look at that and work together as a unit. We are a business, and we got to maintain our business, and we're doing a good job at it. So I'm happy with you guys, but I'm really tickled with Barbara and Rob. I think it's going to be a fun year coming up. So any questions on that? So rate your comments if you could. Like I said, we have the new board starting in 2 weeks. I know Mike's going to bring a lot of different ideas as well. And by the way, Mike, note, if he does get elected, he is a sewer customer. He has houses up on Elm Street. He has 3 apartments. So he is a sewer customer. So if anyone wants to look at that, we do have now two clients on customer on sewer. So John and Mike, you have a lot in common. Is there any comment from the public? Seeing that we're live, aren't we? I think we're being televised right now, aren't we? I think
don't
we're,
think so.
I thought we were. Any public comment from the board? And this time we're going to start with Brett. Brett, do you have anything?
Well, just throwing it out there. Meeting at 5 o'clock was a little bit difficult sometimes. I didn't know if we could consider throwing around the idea of making it more like 6 o'clock during the warmer months.
I would recommend, let's talk about that as a board and put that on the agenda for our next meeting.
I agree.
I like the idea of doing it before 7 and not wasting the whole day. Bob, Rob, how do you guys feel about 6 o'clock?
Whatever the commission wants, I'm fine with anything.
Let's think about it and bring it up, but how about 5:30? Would that be a problem, Brett, or
5:30 would be great.
how about you guys? What do you think of 5:30? Is that good for you guys? At 5:30, I mean, I have a hard time sometimes. In fact, John, I talked to you about 10 minutes ago about going to be late. So 5 o'clock is tough.
You know, 5:30 a.m. would be great for me, but
We could do that. I mean, I have no problem with that either. I still don't know what and we could have meetings in the morning, but something to think about. But I just like to know when we're going to start seeing each other again.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully one of the messages at home is get your shots. I hope everyone's getting their shots. Jane, did you get your shot? You didn't get a shot? Would you like one? Okay, so anyways, Brett, we'll bring that under advisement. Anything else, Brett? Brett? Anything else? Any more comment? Can you hear me, Brett?
Oh, from me, no, I'm done. That's
Okay.
we can talk about it next meeting if we have to, but 5:30 would work great for me.
Yeah, we'll have a full board next meeting.
Yeah.
John?
no, 5:30 would be good for me too. But other than that, I'm all set.
Mike?
Nope, no comment. And again, 5:30 will work for me as well.
And again, 5:30 worked for me, but Bob and Rob, your opinions matter to us as well. So I don't know how you feel about the 5:30.
No, that's good. I'm glad to accommodate everybody's schedule. So that's fine.
Well, I know you're in meetings all the time, and I know you're going to be starting to slow down a little bit because we're not in the budget process. But you're on TV like every night, so you look like a reporter for Lunenburg.
Well, 5:30 is still good enough to get me onto a 7 o'clock meeting that would follow this one. So that's fine.
I don't know what the future is for us as far as how meetings are going to be conducted in the future. I don't see why we can't do meetings on Zoom and in person. For example, Rob, if you can meet us on a Zoom and we can work that out from your place in Gardner, and Bob, the same thing with you. I mean, we can still go to town hall, or I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next 6 months, I think. But I see this probably part of business now for a while. I mean, people like doing what we're doing, and it's visible too. So, okay. Any other public comment? The only thing I got to say is make sure the elections are Saturday. Please come out and vote at the TCP from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our next meeting after that was going to be May 25th, and it's at 5. We're going to keep that one at 5 until we get everything situated, if that's okay. So the next meeting will be May 25th at 5 o'clock. That'll be a regular meeting, remote participation until further notice. Our meeting after that will be June 8th, probably at 5:30. And we'll take that vote next week, our next meeting. Next meeting also, there'll be a reorganization of the board and yada, 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 all that stuff. So any other questions? If not, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor, Mike,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
John, Brett,
Aye.
and I for me. Guys, thank you very much. Rob, Bob, thank you again for everything done, and looking forward to a new commission next meeting.
Sounds good. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Have a great night, guys.